How y'all doing? What's going on? It's your boy, Big Sky. I just wanted to tap in with y'all today. I want to talk to you about fatherhood. I think it's really important that children have their fathers in their lives. A lot of us grew up without a father. And although our fathers weren't in our life, we had father figures, whether it was your granddad, your uncle, your cousin, your brother, your neighbor, whoever it was important to have those people in your lives. And it's also important to, you know, men broken hearts, get back in touch with your father if you haven't called him. Call him. People make mistakes. I'm 36 years old. I have a wife, 3 kids, and 2 dogs. I'm home with my family every day, and I make mistakes. um, I was reading a Bible verse today. It was in James. I forget the chapter and the verse, but it was saying, um, "Be quick to listen, be slow to speak, and slow to get to anger, because anger cannot bring you. You can't reap the benefits of the kingdom of God if you have anger." And it could be frustrating at times being a parent. You got a lot going on. Money could be low, stress could be high, or money could be high, stress could be low. Just because things are going well, doesn't mean that everything's perfect. Back on mosquito bugging me. And I just felt compelled to say that. I'm sitting here at my daughter's gymnastics, and I just felt it on my heart, because I think a lot of dads get a bad rap. And whether you white, black, Mexican, Asian, whatever you are, just try to be a part of your child's life. Even if it's 5 minutes. Even if you call and write a letter, do something, keep a journal. If you're not able to get into get in contact with your kids, or if you're not able to see your kids, keep a journal. Write in a journal about how much you love them, how much you miss them, and save it for them. And that's something that when they get older and they're able to think for themselves, they can make their own mind up about you. They can read that journal and say, well, hey, my dad wasn't perfect. He wasn't a part of my life, but he loved me. He just had circumstances that prevented him. My father was in and out of my life, but we have a good relationship. I have my grandfather, I have my uncles, I have my dad, my stepfather, who I call my dad. I had just a community of people. Of course, my mom, my uncles, everybody. It took a community to raise me. And I'm glad it was that way because I'm well rounded. I just don't have one way of thinking. If I was with my dad, I wouldn't be the same person. And he says it too. I probably would have been gang banging, selling drugs, doing something crazy, because that's the part of the life he was in. My dad's from the Midwest. He's from Chicago. So it's a different lifestyle up there. I love all my Chicago people, but he just chose the wrong route, and it's repercussions for it. But I don't want to judge him. I just want him to be able to enjoy the rest of his life, because life is too short to be judging people. Even if they did send you through something, just forgive them. It's hard. It takes years. It takes years, but just take steps towards it. You'll love yourself for it. It's time that we quit holding grudges, and start loving ourselves. Because here's the thing about it: your mom and your dad, there go mosquito. Your mom and your dad. I don't care what you think. You're 50% your mom, 50% your dad. So if you talking bad on your dad or talking bad on your mom, you're really talking bad on yourself. Because no matter if you like it or not, they are part of you. They are part of your DNA. We have to break these generational curses of, fathers not being a part of the child life. And I'm not just talking, African American people. I'm talking everybody. You know, we have to understand that this stuff is across the board. So yeah, all the fathers out there, be a part of your child's life. Like I said, make small steps. You know, if you ain't on child support and you want to see your kids and she won't let you see your kids, put yourself on child support. That's the best way to see your kids, because you have a legal right to see your children. So go down to the child support agency, put yourself on child support, pay them hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars or whatever it is that they tell you to pay. Is worth it, because your kids deserve that. You out here at the club, chasing women, don't spending all this money and time on everything but your children. get with your children. I'm not the perfect person. Um, I make a lot of mistakes. I'm the type of person I take a lot of chances. You know, I'm very very risky with trying to progress. So my family, they know how I am. So they know, hey, my dad gonna take chances, but every chance I take is for the good. You know. So all the men out there, if you part of your kid's life, you got a family, whether you in the house or out of the house, take some chances. Do it for your children. Let's stop, fighting one another, moms and dad. It don't make no sense to fight when all this stuff is supposed to be done for our children anyway. Let's quit taking each other to court, giving the court system all our money, just to turn around and this stuff is gonna go to our children anyway. Do that make any sense? I got this squirrel about to jump on me. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, man. Be a part of your child's life. Um, be careful about living through your children though. Have your own life. You know what I mean? My son and daughter, they do a lot of different things, and that's them. I tell them all the time, that's your life. You have to make your choices and decisions to where you can live the life you want to live. I can't do it for you, so I don't want to reap. Of course I'm proud when they do different things, but it wasn't me, it was them. So I can't expect to reap the benefits from it. Stop living through your children. Stop putting your children through all this stuff that they don't want to do. Your son don't want to go to the NBA. He don't want to go to the NFL. He wants to do art. He wants to play the piano or his trumpet. Let him do it. You over here making him, do all this different stuff that he don't even want to do. Now, if they want to do it, cool. But don't kill the creativity just because you fell short at something. You know what I mean? I tell my son all the time, don't be like me. Be like yourself. He plays the violin and he's good at it. He runs track. He's good at it. He plays football. He's good at it. He likes to do those different things. Now, I'm not saying don't encourage them. Sometimes they need a little push. But if you put them in something and after a year or whatever, 2, 3 years, and they seem like they ain't catching on, they don't force them to do it. Now, putting them in sports and stuff when they young, that's cool because they need to learn motor functions and they need to, learn social skills and, being around other children. And that's all fine and dandy. But I'm talking about once we get up into middle school and high school, don't force your kids. Let them go to that natural path because that natural path is where their creativity is. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of parents force their kids to do things, and now the kids are older and they don't know their way, and because the way they wanted to go, the parents wouldn't let them. You know what I mean? Because you out here forcing a kid to run hills or forcing them to read books. Don't let them naturally progress at what they want to do. For example, my mom, she always preached. She wanted me to be a scholar. You know what I mean? She wanted me to read all the time, and I like to read. I just didn't like to read the books that she wanted me to read. She wanted me to read chapter books. I was into sports books, and that's what I eventually when I got older, I caught on to reading because it was something that I enjoyed. I just didn't enjoy it certain topics. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want to read about history or Harry Potter. I didn't want to read that stuff. I wanted to read about, who made the Hall of Fame in the NBA. What was Michael Jordan's journey? You know what I mean? I was interested in animals. The Discovery Channel. Um, a lion and a tiger mix is a liger. I was interested in stuff like that. I was interested in going outside, going on adventures, and doing different things. I wasn't really interested in reading chapter books, but eventually, because I enjoyed doing research and reading as I progressed into high school and college and stuff like that, I eventually, used those same skills to read these big textbooks and whatever books it was. And now I really enjoy reading whatever because I enjoy the topics I like to read. You know what I mean? The stuff I like. So as parents, we can't force this on our kids. And I have to check myself about it too, because I'm thinking in my mind about what this boy wants or what this child or this girl wants. I need to ask them. But like I said, encouraging them to do things, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't force it on them. Don't force it on them. Push them a little bit. Give them a little persuasion. When they're younger, if you 10 and below, you really, I won't say 10, I'll probably say like 8 and below. You really don't know what you like or what you want. So yeah, at that 8 and under, you do, put them in different things and let them try it out. Because they don't know. You have to see what they like. But you can't wait until they in middle school to try to make them do things. You have to um I think it goes off if you close it. I guess not. But like I said, don't force nothing on them. Let it come naturally to them. So it's all about having good persuasion in your life. I really believe that peer pressure starts in the home, and we have to realize that peer pressure really starts in the home because we want our children to think like us, but we have to raise our children to be independent thinkers, and that's just the reality of the situation. If you want your kids to be at school not falling for peer pressure, teach them how to be an independent thinker at home. And that's just how it is, point blank period. I'm out.